All right. So a lot of you guys have been asking about this car. You've been asking like, how long did it take me to get it, where it's at, how much money do I have in it, time, questions like that. So I'm gonna go over all that in this video. That's all this video is gonna be about. So to start off, I got this car 3 years ago. It was my first car, and I didn't even know how to drive manual yet when I bought it. I actually had to go with my dad. He had to test drive it for me and bring it home because I had no clue how to drive a manual. I had an idea, but I didn't trust myself. So he got it home. Next day, I spent all day learning how to drive manual. Got it. I picked up really fast. I didn't even stall the car once. So I had some experience with dirt bikes, so I kind of understood how the clutch worked. But yeah, so first car, had it through high school. It was all stock for probably about a year. Bone stock car. Didn't know anything about them. Didn't know what I had. Didn't even know the year. Didn't know there was different body styles. I was like, I saw this thing on Craigslist. I was like, that thing looks sick. I'm gonna go check it out, and I bought it. So I originally got this car for $3,000, and that was bone stock with the motor, just base model Civic. This is a CX, not even a DX. Like, it's the lightest one I got, lightest version they made of this year. So I mean, that's kind of a plus because I didn't know what it was going to turn into. So I had the car for about a year. Didn't do anything to it other than like a cold air intake, like what every other Honda guy does for the most part, because I thought that added all the horsepowers. But I didn't really start learning about them until near the end of my senior year. I'd say middle of senior year. And that's when I was looking into motor swaps, and I was really excited to like get into it. And I found the H22. I was originally going to do a K-swap because I wanted just like the most power, most torque, like drop in without even I didn't even probably know what a turbo was. At least I had no idea how to put a turbo on, that's for sure. But I was going to go with the K-swap, but that was really expensive. And a few people suggested the H22, and that makes just as much power and torque, and it was way cheaper to get that in there. So I went with that. I got the H22 from HMO about 2 years ago. So I got this from H Motors online, and complete full swap was, I think, around $2,200, and that was everything with an LSD transmission. So got that in the car, and then, you know, it was pretty fast, all motor. It could keep up with like a WRX with minor bolt-ons, which I was amazed. I was so happy. I kept the car bone stock for a little bit, probably just a couple months, and I was having a lot of fun with it, and I really wanted to get into it more. So I looked into turboing it, and I ended up buying an eBay turbo kit. I just kind of learned as I went, so I slapped all that on there. I picked up some tips on like how to street tune, like off an air fuel ratio. So I got it like safe enough to drive, but it wasn't performing at its max. But I got it on 6 pounds, and on 6 pounds with the eBay turbo kit bone stock motor, it was decently fast. Like, I was easily able to beat any stock STIs or Evos, and like neck and neck with my friend's Cobra, which I actually have a really old video on, that orange Cobra. We were dead even, but that was with the eBay turbo kit, and then once I built it and went E85, that's a whole nother story. So after the eBay kit, I pulled the motor back out. I put rods and pistons in it, and springs and retainers in the head, and honestly that's pretty much it. But not a whole lot into the motor, but you know, just enough. I was shooting for like maybe 400 horsepower. I didn't even know my motor was capable of so much more. So got it built, put it all back in, got it on E85, went through a few tunes. First tune made 330 horsepower. That's the race with the Cobra. Brought it back, barely bumped it up, made 380, and brought it back again and made 450. And that's when I was really excited because I hit my power goal. I was like so happy. And that was crazy. Like, I brought it onto the highway for the first time after that pull. I just laid in it in second gear, instantly just smacking off almost 9 grand. It was probably one of the greatest feelings in this car, not gonna lie. So at 450, it was really fun. Like, I had it at 450 for the longest time, which is still only a few months, but not much could honestly touch me. There were still cars that would pull me and bikes, but at 450 in this light of a car, you're keeping up with a lot of the fast guys out there. And then after that, I took it back because I realized I could even make more power. All I needed was new injectors. So I threw the Bosch 2200s in there, and it made, right now on 21 pounds, that's like what it's normally at. I made 610, and then on a higher tune, it made 644. I already said that. But on the street, I actually turned it down closer to probably, I don't even know what to guess, probably 560-ish. I'm not sure, on 18 pounds instead of 24. Anyway, because it can't hook at all, being front wheel drive, even with the Mickey Thompsons on there. So that's where I'm at with the car. Had it for 3 years so far. Have to get emissions soon. So that's how I know it's been 3 years. And first year, stock. Second year, H22. Third year, built H22, making lots of power. That's how the car went. So real quick, I'm gonna kind of get a calculator on my friend's phone, on Mitch's phone, and kind of add up how much I have into this car off the top of my head. And I'm just gonna try to be completely honest. All right, so let's start off right here. Original price of the car was $3,000. And if you don't want to watch all this, go ahead and skip through. But I'm going to go through each and every little part that I can think of right now. So price of the car, $3 grand. Got that. Let me see. First major mod was the H22. Complete swap was about $2,200, like I said, with the LSD transmission. So after that, I needed axles. The axles I had on there lasted for a long time. So, and those were, well, I'll just go with the ones I have now. They're $350. They're insane shafts. But the other ones I had were like $150. We'll add that. Add $300 for a Honda, tunable ECU. Let me think. Turbo kit, obviously. So the full turbo kit, I said everything about it, but let me just think how much I got in it. Turbo, intercooler, blow-off valve, and all that. It was about, I got some stuff used, so about, let's just say 1,400. And that's probably shooting high. That's shooting higher than probably what I actually got things for, because I got some pretty good deals on Craigslist. All right, so let's see. Got that. Injectors were $300, brand new. Bosch 2200s. I'm not going to count the tires because, I mean, that doesn't really count towards what it takes to make it 700 horsepower. Fuel pump. Oh, wait, no, that. Oh, okay, yeah. And then obviously all the internals. I ordered that all in one cart. That came with the clutch, fuel pump, rods, pistons, bearings, pretty much everything in the motor. And I remember that cost me $2,400 for all that. So right now, just under 10 grand. And motor mounts were eBay, 150, right over 10,000. And let me think. I mean, there's probably obviously some parts on my car that I have, but this is like the stuff to get it to 600 horsepower. I'm pretty sure that's it. I mean, I might be forgetting something. I mean, you can shout it out, but those are at least all the big money items right there. So also, here's something I need to add. My stock motor is no longer in the car. It's gone. Where my stock D16 Y7 went is into a car I bought off Craigslist for about $800. And it was a really clean car, and my friend actually owns it now. It had a blown motor for $800. I swapped my Y7 back into that car and resold it to my friend for, I think, $2,600. So I got $1,800 back just like that. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to count that into the car itself, but if I take away $1,800, because technically I did make that back, that helped pay for some stuff, I'm in it around $8,300 off the top of my head. And there's plenty of other little things that are going to add up, but to get a rough estimate. It's around 8,300 with everything in there. And there's other ways you can do this. I mean, oh, there's also the harness, and that cost me a couple hundred to get made, so 8,500. But yeah, looking at the car right now, yeah, that's all I can think of that's like important. Oh, also like a wide band is going to be another like 150. Just pretty much after that is little things. So, but yeah, definitely easily doable for like $8,000 if you put your mind to it. So what I could have done to make this way cheaper, if I went and bought an EK shell for about, you know, like $1,000, like a clean EK shell for $1,000, I could have bought an H22 probably with a tranny for under $700 on Craigslist instead of going through HMO and getting like a really nice refurbished motor, however low miles, how they come. And I could have done it for way cheaper if I knew what I was doing in the first place. But it is what it is, and it's still around $8,000-$9,000 car, and I'm out there with some really big cars for being a little Civic. And that's really all I have to say about it right now. So, I mean, if I forgot anything, you can let me know. As far as I know, I got everything major part-wise. I mean, wheels are wheels. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So for any of you wondering what's in the Civic and how long it took me, money, how hard it is to do, I mean, it was a learning process. To be completely honest, if you have the tools and the willpower, it is really not that hard to do. It just takes some time and patience. Also, one more thing, this doesn't affect the power, but these are Teen Super Street coils, and those were like $500 used from some guy. That doesn't, not necessary to make the power though, but that's another thing I just realized I forgot to add. But yeah, not sure how long this video is going to be, but there you go. If you're wondering about every little detail about my hatch, that's about it. So leave comments below if you have questions still, and I'll be happy to make another video to answer any more questions. And at the end of the day, a lot of guys will still say, yeah, but it's just a Civic. But for as little money as I have into it, and for how far it's come, and I'm only 20 years old, and I already have this nearly 700 horsepower Civic that I built all by myself. And if you can't respect that as a car guy, then you're honestly just kind of retarded. So I really don't give a fuck. I love this car. So I don't give a shit what people think. And I mean, if their car's faster, they're faster. Good for them. But that's just me. This thing was super cheap to build. It's fun as shit. Parts are dirt cheap compared to some other things. So end of the day, if you can't respect a build like this, then you're just a hater. And that just kind of shows who you are as a person. So I'm not too mad about it.